Hi, my name is Brooke Lippman.
And I'm Dr. Deb Lippman.
And this is Wine Together,
a podcast where we drink some wine and have a chat.
So sit back, relax, and get that corkscrew ready. Okay, so we don't have wine today.
Correct. We are not drinking wine today. It is
You've got yours. I've got
yeah. We have little sparkling water, flavored water. Well, I'm still under doctor's orders to do no alcohol, so I get more blood work done. Today is 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So we'll talk to you. I mean, we'll also, give some notes in our photo on Instagram that you'll see that comes out on Thursday about these waters that we have and, what we do with it. Fun little mocktails that we make with the fun little ice cubes and mint leaves from our fresh mint plant that we have outside. But yeah, we want to talk about summertime and, we have cocktails in the summer. We drink wine in the summer, drink beer, a lot of beer in the summer in this house. But today we just, we're just kind of refreshed with water. It's so hot. And we, here we don't have air conditioning. So, we're just kind of, telling our bodies, we're going to just kind of keep hydrated with our water.
Well, mine's not water. Mine is like lemonade
yours is a
kind
soda.
of. Yeah.
Mine's water. It's just, we have the little soda stream. We can make our own sparkling water, but I don't have any of the flavor capsules yet. I haven't learned how to do that.
Yeah.
So yours is a soda.
Yeah.
And your can tells you what to do with this soda, like wear high heels, and what's that about?
I have no clue.
Refrigerate it, pop the top, and put on your heels and dance. I think that's what hers is all about.
I don't think that's a refrigerator.
Oh, is that not?
I don't know.
Looks like a fridge to me. It's a cube.
Yeah. Well, it's made with only from Sicilian lemons.
Sicilian lemons. Oh, we know wine from Sicily, right, guys? We do. That little island off the tip of the toe. That's good of Italy. Yeah. In fact, I was talking with a friend of mine this weekend about Sicily. I was like, I really want to know kind of the best place for me to go visit, that's not so touristy. And she said, oh, I'm going to give you some places. And she gave me a few names. I'm not going to say them yet because I don't want you all going before me. Yeah. So, but yeah, she gave me, and she said it's near Sicily, so kind of excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she kept saying, go south. Go south. I said, okay.
Oh, I wanna travel, but I have not been able to do that.
Yeah, well, I know. There are priorities that like a job. We got to get a job or get this thing going here to where we can kind of make money, or somebody send us somewhere. We'll record somewhere else if you want to, pay for the trip. Absolutely. But summertime. We have had what we call a heat wave in Switzerland for, oh my goodness, like 2 weeks in a row. We've had 3 30-degree days.
Yep.
So we had a couple of 30-degree days, one or two, and then it was rain. For a week. And then, which is normal. That's our normal Swiss summer. And then, like last week, we had some 30-degree days, maybe 4.
Something, it was very, very...
And they were back to back to back.
Yeah.
And then this week, starting today, we're going to have 3 or 4 30-degree days with no cloud cover, like full sun.
Except for tomorrow, isn't it supposed to storm tomorrow?
Oh, well, we're supposed to have a storm tomorrow, so we might not have them in a row. Okay. Yeah. All right. I know it was supposed to storm yesterday, and then it didn't. It rained just long enough. Like I set my clothes out to dry.
Yeah.
And then it rained. Like as soon as I put my clothes out there, so I grabbed my clothes up and it stopped raining. So I was able to dry my clothes. So it did have some rain yesterday, but only that few seconds.
Yeah, it was so weird because I thought it would then rain a little bit later in the day too. Yeah. And it didn't. It was just that one. Mm-hmm. There was just like one cloud that was really heavy, I guess.
I guess. And it was, we did have some cloud cover yesterday. Yeah. I mean, I did think it was going to rain more, but it didn't. So.
Yeah. That was strange.
But, okay, I know we've kind of mentioned probably some of our favorite summer activities here, which one is floating down the river. Mm-hmm. Something I wanted to do today. Wasn't sure, but, Dad's mentioned he's going to get the stuff up, so I kind of need to clean out this office here and have a place to store our stuff because we'll need a summer storage spot for our rings that we use to float down the river or the gummy boat if we're going to be on the gummy boat. But, I think it's time.
Yeah.
I think the temperature of the R, you know what? I don't have my phone in here to check the temperature of the R. I have an app to tell me, it's called the R Guru. Mm-hmm. And it tells me the temperature of the R, which is a river that runs through the town close to where we're at. So I do not have that with me, sorry, or I'd tell you what the temperature is and we could go.
Well, this summer is going to be fun because of the Euros.
Oh, yeah. Switzerland's really, in fact, we're seeing it everywhere.
They're so excited. Actually, at Migros today, some of the pastries had like the little soccer ball because like the sugar.
Cool. Yeah.
At the hardened sugar, and it was shaped like a soccer ball. Like some of the cakes had it. I was like, oh my gosh.
And that's, within the next 2 weeks or so?
Yeah.
Because we just finished the Tour de Suisse.
Yeah.
We had the women, and I went all 4 days of the women's race. And then we had the men's race, and I went 4 of the 7 days of the men's race, I think. So I missed a few days, but maybe I went 5. I'm not sure.
It starts next week.
Next week?
July 2nd.
July 2nd. Okay. I thought it was something like the 7th. Like starting into the second week of July. So the first week of July it starts, and we're seeing, you're seeing advertisements on the train, and so, but women's football is in Switzerland now, and then we'll have the Jazz Festival, which is, I do wish I had my phone so I could have all this information, because the Jazz Festival's been going on in Montreux for, I don't know, it may be close to 50 years. Yeah. And so I definitely...
And they'll probably get even more people there this summer because of the Euros.
Absolutely they will, because some of the Euros are near Geneva, Lausanne, and those towns are not far at all from Montreux.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the England women's team is staying in Lausanne, but I can't remember. They have this like really big, really nice like hotel kind of thing that they're staying in. I saw a picture of it like months ago. It's like, oh...
Do you remember when we went to Lausanne and we went to the Olympic Museum?
Yeah.
And we walked by this big palace hotel.
Yeah, that's what it looked like was that, but the area didn't look like Lausanne. So I was wondering if it was maybe another hotel that looked like the Palace Hotel.
Possibly. Oh my goodness. So we looked up the prices.
It's so expensive.
Thousands of francs for one night in this small little tiny hotel room. It was just like, okay, I would love to be able to do it. And it was something. We did actually walk on the grounds, right?
Because I think it was
did we walk on the perimeter?
It was the sidewalk next to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, and I absolutely would love to see it. So Lausanne, and Lausanne has Mark Twain commented about the women in Lausanne. He said they're the most beautiful women in the world because they have legs, because they have to walk up hills all day long. I mean, it's hilly, just like a lot of Switzerland is hilly. Yeah. You're surrounded by mountains, but where there's not mountains, there are hills. Yeah. So pretty steep hills in some places.
So I'm excited, but recently they fenced off the field around SC Darendingen's, right?
Yes.
And so I was wondering, because they did it at like such a weird time, I was like, I wonder if one of the Euros teams is going to train there.
Possibly. possibly. I thought about that. Yes. When did I ride my bike by? Monday. So I rode my bike by there Monday. I'm pretty sure it was Monday. And I noticed that, they also have a lot more of the advertiser signs that are kind of blocking the view through to the field. And I thought, but it was windy on Monday, so it was blowing some of the signs up. And I thought, well, they better pin those signs down there. They don't want us to see who's out there.
I mean, it just doesn't look like a good training pitch, though, so I don't know. But if they are, then I guess I just have to wait every day around and see who shows up.
Yeah. I know I've told you this, and it's so funny. And look, the more I say it, the more I convince myself it's true. Mm-hmm. So I think it's probably been 18 months or so. Maybe it's been 2 years by now. We were going on a Sunday hike. Mm-hmm. We were leaving early for some reason. I guess we were going somewhere further away. And I walk out, and just as I'm walking out the front door and you're going out to the street, I see this guy jogging. Mm-hmm. And he's not jogging by himself, but he's the only one jogging, right? Yeah. So there's some people kind of walking, and there are people on bicycles keeping up with him. Mm-hmm. And he's surrounded by this entourage. Good-looking guy. And I'm like, ooh, who is he? Must be a footballer. Yeah. Right? Immediately, then we watch the Swiss men's team play, and I swear it's Rodriguez. I'm telling you, it was him. And I was like, we met eye contact. And I was like, okay, obviously I didn't recognize him as anybody, but couldn't understand the entourage.
Well, Inter Milan played in D.C. recently for the Club World Cup, and Jan Zomer plays for Inter Milan.
Wow, I wonder if your brother knew.
No, I don't think so. I don't think he really keeps up with it.
Yeah. That's too bad, because
I know. I'm pretty sure they were in DC. I could be wrong. I don't remember. I know that some teams have played in DC. I don't remember exactly who was played where, except for where Real Madrid played.
Yeah, and that's for World Cup qualifiers.
No, it's a different tournament. This is a different the clubs.
Okay.
This is.
Oh, that's right. It's not the
World
Nations
Cup.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. Obviously, I don't understand anything. But it's exciting that, because we're seeing, like, during the Women's Tour de Suisse, there was a lot of advertisement about the women's UEFA.
Yeah, Euros.
The Euros. Yeah. So I saw, and I'm seeing it everywhere, like the Bern train station has lots of big, huge posters about it. And you see this. The Swiss women's team is really being, obviously, we're the hosts, being highlighted in a lot of these ads. And it's, it's a lot of fun. And there is a girl from Solothurn.
Yeah.
The Swiss
I don't know who it is, but I also know that Alicia Lehmann, who, I don't know if she's the captain, but she plays for the Swiss team. She's from Bern Mittelland.
No, I don't think she's the captain. What is the girl's name? I said, I really like her the other day.
I don't know.
I think she's the captain, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, I think I have that sticker. So
yes. Oh, yeah, you have the sticker book.
I have all my stickers. And we're determined this year to get all of them.
Yeah. So we think we need 6 more boxes of 36. I can't remember what we figured out.
I think it was 6.
But,
we have like 70-something out of 306.
Yeah.
It's like 73 or 74.
Yeah. Oh, what's this? 72?
It has to be No, it might be 72. It has to be an even number.
Yeah, I was thinking not necessarily, because you got extra numbers. Okay,
but
so we got 72.
But I haven't had any duplicates.
Right, so we got 72 as far as boxes. And
there were 6 in the...
So there's 78 in there.
Okay, 78 and 306 is how many there are,
So that's exciting. What are the categories in your sticker book?
Well, it's got the host cities, the nations that are participating. There's some at the beginning that I can't remember exactly what they are. Then they've got, obviously, all the players. They've got legends. They've got the players to watch out for. Mm-hmm. And then there was, one other. I can't remember.
Category. Okay. So, is it the full team, or is it kind of like the starters? You've got
it's all the full team. It's the full team.
That's a lot of stickers. Because how many players are
at most 25.
So the most they can bring is 25?
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure, yeah. Because it doesn't have, reserves.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I don't know if nation teams have reserve
I would think that
teams.
every team would need something like that because, people get hurt.
Well, yeah, but that's why they don't. Not everyone plays at the beginning. Like, they have substitutes for that reason.
Yeah.
Right. Like, reserve is for, like, it's typically what clubs have. But I don't know. I don't remember how that works.
Well, it's going to be hot. I know that.
Yes, it is.
It's going to be hot and sometimes in July we get some pretty good storms. So it might be, we might have some.
Yeah, like last year at the Euros, one of the games in Germany had to be postponed because of in the middle of the game there was like lightning on the pitch. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and there was a game, maybe more than one game, but one had started and it was not in a covered dome. So
I was watching the game.
Oh, okay.
It was crazy. I think it was Germany was playing. I can't remember who they were playing, but
I remember coming home from the U.S. because I had flown to the U.S. for work and was flying back, and a lady sitting in front of me was going to visit her brother in Stuttgart.
Ooh.
And I said, "Oh, will you get in a game?" And she said, "I'm hoping to get in a game. I'm trying to convince them we need to go." Yeah. So, she was pretty excited about visiting her brother there. Yeah. And I thought, Stuttgart, that'd be kind of a fun place to go visit,
Yeah, but I don't think we're going to get to go to any of the games this summer.
Yeah, I doubt it, just because of the expense and whatever. And then just also, I don't even know if there's, tickets available.
Yeah, I mean, my even a couple months ago, there weren't even tickets.
Yeah, my guess is,
teams.
I mean, you might get lucky and win one on some kind of, giveaway or something, but I think that would be kind of, But there's also, the one thing I love about Switzerland, and even though I don't go, every summer, I kind of dream about it, but don't do it. There are all these, they call them summer festivals, and they're all over Switzerland, and I mean, sometimes big stars come and play at these festivals. Ed
Sheeran is going to one of them.
Ed Sheeran's going to be, look, so you got your generation. I'm about to speak my generation. Bryan Adams is coming.
He's the guy that sang Heaven, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So he's going to be at one. And I was a little mad at him, during COVID because he got all pissy because people were canceling going to the concerts and stuff at the beginning of the pandemic, and he thought it was kind of stupid that people were canceling, but he just didn't understand the science behind the virus, and I'm not giving him an excuse. Shame on him is all I'm going to say. I was mad. But also Justin Timberlake's coming to Switzerland.
Yeah,
Will Smith's coming to Switzerland. Macklemore's coming for at least the second year in a row because he was here last year, and Macklemore will be here again this year. But anyway, these summer festivals around these lakes, and they go on from, I don't know that there were any in June. If they are, it's this coming weekend.
Okay.
And so it's like end of June through August. There are these huge summer festivals on the lakes and in different places. And I mean, I of course see the videos afterwards. And so, but it just seems like so much fun. But of course, it's really young people go. So not really my generation, but a band from my generation, Crocus, who is very popular in Switzerland, plays in Switzerland several times a year, from what I understand, is also going to be at one of the festivals. So there's a rock festival for that.
Well, you're already going to a concert in London this summer.
I am going to a concert in London.
Without me.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm actually, I'm excited, but also scared because I did choose to go by myself.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh God, what was I thinking? I never go anywhere by myself like that. What was I thinking? So I must have been really mad.
Yeah, well,
when I made that decision.
You're going with friends.
Yeah, I'm going with friends. But my friend said, you could bring a +1. I'll pay for that. And I was like, yeah, I'll make it by myself.
I would love to go to London. I don't want to go to the concert, but I would love to go to London.
Right, and that was the whole point of the trip is this concert.
Yeah, but I don't see why I couldn't go to a show while you guys are at the concert.
Oh, well, I don't know. But anyway.
I've gone to a show in London by myself before.
Yeah, I am aware of that.
It was the ballet, but I mean...
Still fun stuff. But yeah, and then of course we'll have our trip to the U.S. at the close to the end of summer. Yeah, but this is also your time to get to be here. Yeah. Which maybe this year you're not wanting to. And we haven't bought tickets.
Well, I don't know if I would want to go there, but I don't know. It'd be fun to go somewhere else. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a conversation that you don't need to have with me.
I know.
You got to have it with somebody else. And so you need to say, maybe I'd like to go, blah, blah, blah. And then if you'd really be willing to go somewhere by yourself and he can do that, then do it. But you know what? Saying it to me right now is not doing you any good. Yeah. You got to make a plan and talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, also, things change if I get cast in that show.
Correct. Do you have auditions? This is more than a reading. This is an audition.
Yeah. So I had to sign up for it, and the audition I signed up for is to go on Tuesday, July 8th.
Okay.
I haven't checked today, but I asked them because they said you have to read a monologue from the play, which already kind of like bothers me because that's not how auditions are supposed to work.
That's not okay. You're not. The
and I know it's a community theater, but still.
And you're not holding this audition.
I know.
So you do what they say.
Anyway, they're supposed to send you a copy of the play, but I haven't gotten it from them yet.
Okay, so check that, and then you just practice your monologue.
Yeah, but they also said to bring another one if you have one, which I can.
So there you go. Which you got that.
Indeed, bring a different one if I want to. But yeah, I mean, they start their rehearsals in August. So.
Okay. So that's going to be kind of. Well, September is a lovely time, of which if you're in, you probably have practice.
It doesn't go up until November.
So hopefully you'll know something, so you have that time late July to possibly go somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So that's exciting. Okay, and what are you auditioning for? What's the play?
Frankenstein, but it's like gender bent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein in Switzerland.
Yeah, around Lake Geneva.
Yep, around Lake Geneva.
Bram Stoker also wrote Dracula at the same time and same place.
Yeah.
Because they were vacationing together.
Yeah.
That's what's
yeah, and they who was it that had the big manor?
I don't know.
Was it Shelley?
No, I think it
Byron.
Was Lord Byron.
Lord Byron had this huge, place in Switzerland near Lake Geneva, and people would come visit, and what a time, really. It's just exciting. Yeah, I was in Interlaken. Not for the Tour de Suisse. It was before Tour de Suisse that I went to Interlaken. And walking around and thinking, so many great novels have been written here, in this town. It's kind of exciting, to think about, when you would go to Bern, every time I go to Bern, I think, I am walking on the same streets that Albert Einstein walked on. Mm-hmm. In the same places.
Yeah.
Just going about his day, making people mad. Mm-hmm. Just the way he did. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, it's kind of, and every time the IC5 comes, I always look to see if it's the Jean Piaget.
Yeah. Well, there's an Albert Einstein one too, right?
No, I did know there's an IC5 with Albert. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll just have to be looking for that one too. Okay, so we're going to Geneva on Friday. Mm-hmm. And so, I will look to see which train we happen to get on because always exciting. But we got to think, what else do we want to do? I mean, are we 100% going out to CERN, then also going to try to do the UN? Or
I don't know. You are the one planning it, I guess. We have to go and look for craft stores.
Yes. Okay. Well,
Even though I did find the yellow I was looking for.
Yeah. So maybe it won't be so urgent.
Yeah.
To find a craft store. I don't know.
It depends. I don't know if I have enough to actually finish the project because there's still a lot of yellow I need to use.
Yeah. So,
I still don't know what color it is, though.
Well, we think we deduced it might be what in the U.S. they call Winnie the Pooh.
No. We discovered that it's probably not that.
Not the Winnie the Pooh. Okay.
Because that one's not made anywhere anymore. Right. So what we think it is 926, which is a different color. It's like canary yellow, because I don't know why it just had the wrong number on it.
Yeah, well, stuff happens.
This was a bag of thread though that I bought on Amazon. So
okay, yeah. But that might explain.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't from the retailer. So
yeah. But still fun stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've enjoyed my summers here. Mm-hmm. I really have. Boy, I don't recall. I was looking at some of my Facebook memories today, and on this date, 2 years ago was the first time I went to see the buffalo. Mm. I was trying to see if you wanted to maybe do that hike with me. There's a wonderful little tea shop in that town that, it's, and it was so funny because the first time I went, because I've been over there twice, I've hiked that trail twice. Mm-hmm. And the first time I went, it was on a Sunday because I was with your dad. And we saw the tea shop, but it wasn't open. Okay. And I thought, that would be kind of cool if that were open. Well, when we came back through, because it makes a loop and you kind of get the bus at the same little town. It was open. Oh, nice. And we were like, oh, that's exciting. So we got, your dad got an espresso. Mm-hmm. I got, a cup of tea. And we had these little sweets. It was so nice. And it was so funny because there must have been something going on in that town. Because like I said, they didn't open at first. And then we were kind of chatting. And as far as I understand, if I understand them correctly, they were saying it was just a special day. And they thought, why not open? And so they did, and I'm excited that they did because they also had a bathroom.
Nice.
It's so much better than going in the woods.
Yeah. Was it like that little shop we found in Germany, the theater cafe shop, whatever? In Lindau.
Lindau. Oh, I was just thinking about Lindau the other day because they're now, right now they actually are they meeting in Lindau right now for Nobel Prize? Talks.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, the theater tea shop. I'm trying to remember.
It wasn't like a tea shop necessarily. It was a cafe. But I had to pee, and so we found that little.
Not the restaurant we ate at.
No.
I don't remember.
Crazy.
I know. I'm sorry.
We went there because it was like a theater themed.
Yeah. Oh, I remember the library there.
Yeah, not the library.
But that was exciting.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was very exciting because there were books in there, thousands of years old. And, I mean, it wasn't what, when I say library, and it really was called a library. Yeah. But everything was behind glass. I mean, you couldn't touch any of the books. Yeah. And some were open, and, but it was still so exciting that some of these old manuscripts in there, thousands of years old.
Well, I mean, if books are that old, you cannot touch them because they will disintegrate.
Right. And so it was just so exciting. And I thought, oh my goodness, Mason would love this place. Mm-hmm. And I did not get him there during his last trip here, so I hope next time that I can get him to there. Mm-hmm. But
well, maybe Mason will want to go to Milan and to an Inter Milan game because I know
I'm sure Mason would like that.
But I don't know how big fan he actually is of wanting to go watch.
He wants the other Inter team. He wants that bucket hat.
Inter Miami?
No. Is it Inter Milan? Is that the only Inter team?
I can't think of any others.
Which one did we get? Okay. Milan. Which one did we get the skin for his PS5?
Inter Milan?
Okay, never mind. So that's the team. Yeah. He wanted the Inter Milan bucket hat. And then he wouldn't. I was like, all you had to do is ask your daddy. He would have gotten it for you. Why didn't want to ask? Now he's wanting me to go back to Milan to get the Inter Milan.
I mean, I'd be fine going to Milan.
Yeah. That'd be fun. I do love Milano. I love Milano.
I know.
It is great
there is an American that plays for AC Milan, Christian Pulisic.
Okay.
And his nickname is apparently Captain America because he's like the captain of the U.S. men's team.
Oh, that's so funny. That's adorable. Okay. Well, it would be great to go meet Captain America in Milan.
That'd be cool.
It'd be fantastic.
Yeah. If we could see an AC Milan Inter Milan game, that would be crazy. Because we'd get... Well, I don't know how long Jan Sommer is going to be playing for anymore. Yeah. Or if he's going to even stay at Inter Milan.
Right. We don't know. Mm-hmm. But, it's fun stuff. Yeah. Summer's always fun for me. Yeah. I love summer. And it's so funny because... I also love to see summer end. I love to see summer begin. Mm-hmm. I love to see summer end because I like all the seasons. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have different events that I like to do for every season. And I've been here long enough that I've been able to enjoy every season at least 5 or 6 times. Mm-hmm. And so now it's just become, this is kind of what I do here is what I expect. Mm-hmm. So I no longer expect, what I used to do in the U.S. for summer. And so it's just, it's kind of fun. It's hot.
It is.
And it's so funny because we did get some little hand fans the other day at the Tour de Suisse.
Oh, God, I've got like 4 or 5 now.
Oh, the ones from Tour de Suisse?
No. Oh, okay. Hand fans.
Yeah, but, you need them here. And it's so funny because you'll walk down the street and you will see the ladies with the fans.
But that doesn't help when you're walking down the street. It helps when you're in your room and it's dark.
Well, on the train it helps. But the train sometimes has a little bit of air going.
Oh, my gosh. All the grocery stores are air conditioned. It's so nice. That's why it gets crowded.
I think you're right. Because it is crowded right now. Every time you go to the store. It's like, what in the world?
But people who don't know how to push the carts don't need to be pushing the carts.
And they don't need to be standing in front of the door. I don't care which side of the door you're on. Don't stand in the doorway. And please, people, when you get off the escalator, keep moving. Because guess what? There are people behind you that want to get to their next train.
Just gonna
Goodness gracious. Do you remember that lady that almost hit? The Oracle, we were behind a lady that had an actual shopping cart on the little escalator that takes shopping carts.
Yes, and they wouldn't move, and she felt so bad. I was like, "Why are you feeling bad?"
Right, and she was an older lady, and these people were young, and they were younger than me, but older than you. Yeah, but still, they should have been smart enough to not stop at the top of an escalator.
There's a little
keep walking.
Not like hallway, but like a little kind of.
Like an alcove.
Yes, there's an alcove right next to it.
Yes.
That if you need to stop and decide something, go over there.
And it's a very wide, hallway type alcove that nothing else is on. No. So please step to the side. Yeah. And it's she was trying to maneuver.
So upset.
And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. And she was even saying beep, 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 making noises, trying to get them. And they were not paying attention to her. And finally she just hit them with the escalator. I mean, it wasn't hard, but then they looked at her like it was her fault. Yeah. This escalator, just to let y'all know, the escalators that carry the shopping carts are automatically, they lock that cart wheel in, and you can't move it. No. You're locked into the belt. Mm-hmm. So don't bust when somebody hits you because you were dumb enough to stop at the top of the escalator. Yeah. There are just some things that people do that... that drive me I just can't understand how they never learned.
Yeah, it's like the
etiquette
people
like that.
The people that don't stop for pedestrians when they're at a crosswalk. It's like every day now that it's happening. It used to be maybe once every 2 months, and now it's every day that someone is doing it.
And then I think it was yesterday when I was taking the cardboard. I just, I'll just step into the crosswalk and anyway, this lady slammed on her brakes. I mean, her car moved like that. And I thought, so I just slowed down.
Yeah, I know, that's what I do too.
Walked across real slow.
If people seem really upset. If people seem
upset. She gunned it when I had gone past. And I was like, someone else could have been coming.
Yeah. No, it's like when people at the checkouts, if I'm at the checkout and someone stands this close to me waiting for it, I start going slower. And taking my time because you don't deserve that checkout. Like the lady the other day.
Oh my goodness. What was that about?
It was one open.
There was one clearly open. And she thought because she had one item that we were going to let her go in front of us. Well, no, go to the one in front of us.
Yeah.
Because we went to this, like there's 4. Okay? Yeah. And so we went to the second one from the back of the line. Yeah. And then the third one from the back line, and then the one at the other end, the far end of the line, which technically you might call first. So those 3 were being used and one was open. So we thought, okay, well, we were there first. So we just went on, and she steps up like we're going to let her go in front of us because she's got this one over. And we're like, no. And then she just stood where we were at.
Stood there.
And somebody else went around her and took the other open register. Somebody else took it, and I was like, did you think we were going to let you take it? No, you could have gone to that one.
There is also the problem at that Migros that there is not enough room for people to go to all the self-checkouts.
That's true.
And it's like, I do always... So, like, there is space for them to have only 2 on that side and 2 on the other side and move the little customer desk down, because why don't you just move the orchids to where the other flowers are?
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't make sense. The setup doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But, like, then there are times that you genuinely cannot get to some of the self-checkouts because people don't know to put their cart, because there's enough room to put it facing with the nose of the cart at the self-checkout and people to go around you, but people put it sideways and block another self-checkout that's open so that other people can't use that.
Yeah. Or they just leave it behind them and people can't get through, because it is a narrow kind of like walkway corridor. Narrow. No, but when you got a cart, in a way
we've made it work. That
but I'm just saying some people don't, and so it kind of makes it hard to get another cart through.
Yeah,
but it's kind of funny. Yeah. And just so many funny things.
Yeah,
and and I think that the heat does make us crazy.
Yeah,
I think that it does a number on our bodies. And so I'm noticing as I get older, I certainly can't do the same things that I did outside when I was younger.
I know. Like this morning, I woke up at 6:30, and my weather. I have like a little widget that scrolls between different things, and one is the weather, and it was already 15 degrees outside. I was like, it's 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
there is no reason for it to be like 15 degrees.
No air moving, like no wind and. So it's pretty warm right now, and I think that I hope that it doesn't remain this way. But it's so funny because I have been in passport control lines in summer in Switzerland, either coming back or I guess mostly coming back from somewhere. In passport control, and especially people coming here from the U.S., they're like, it's so freaking hot here. Is there not any air conditioning here? No, there's not. Maybe at some of the gates in the airport, there might be some air conditioning, but I don't think down at passport control there is any anyway. Then, you'll hear people talking about their visit, that it was just so hot. There were, people didn't have air conditioning, but, it's just, this is the way it is.
I think people also don't expect Switzerland to be hot. Like, I had a friend from Germany that when I was complaining about how hot it was in Switzerland, she was like, it doesn't get hot in Switzerland. She's from Germany.
I can remember when we first moved here, and we really did only have 2 really hot days that got close to what it would be considered 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So which is like, 33, 34. We would have 2 of those days this summer. But last year we had 2 couple of heat waves, I think. So we had like one in June where there were 4 days in the 30s, and then in middle July there were a few days in the 30s. But still, it didn't get up to like 36, 37, nothing like that. And so. It's about 80 for Fahrenheit. It gets to about 80 to 85 here. There might be 2 90-degree days a summer, but we're so accustomed to it now that we can't handle those upper level days. And so now it just feels because when we first moved here, my first summer here, I did not my body didn't notice anything. It really did not feel like it got hot.
Mm-hmm.
And then the
well,
second summer
used
here,
to North Carolina.
correct.
Summer.
My second summer here did not feel like it ever got hot. But by my third summer here, I was like, oh gosh, it's been hotter this year. But it hasn't been.
Yeah.
It's just that my body has now kind of gotten accustomed to this weather, and then, so now I call it hot, you know, when it's really just honestly like spring weather in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, this is the last Sunday. This Sunday will be the last Sunday of June.
Oh, it is, and unfortunately we didn't have a guest. So we do want to still give a big shout out to our Pride people. Happy Pride Month. We hope that it ends, you know, strong for you, and you feel strong going through summer. And you always have an advocate in us, always. And so we want to mention our book that we have back here. It's one that you've read. I haven't read it.
It's The Sun and the Star. It's from the Percy Jackson series. The two main characters are a gay couple. And that was the only Pride book not even Pride book, but the only thing we had that we could think of.
Yeah, because I was looking, I'm a big fan of Patricia Cornwell, and I know I have books from her. I think I even have one in German and couldn't find the book, because I really wanted to shout out to Patricia Cornwell, because I remember in the 90s when she was outed by a magazine against her consent. And she has said in interviews that she didn't leave her house for a month. And so those of you who don't necessarily have anybody in the community and you haven't learned lessons, you don't do that. You don't out someone without their consent. I know that someone in our family, someone was trying to out them before they were ready to tell me. And you don't do that. I mean, it's just disgraceful. So don't do that. But anyway, we love our Pride, community. I know, just know you have somebody that will always be by your side. Always, you know. We don't, we just don't know. And you don't know what someone's going through, so always be kind also. You know. Yeah, lots of good stuff. But anyway, we hope you've kind of enjoyed this conversation.
We'll be back next week with a new bottle of wine and a new topic. In the meantime, if you want to join the conversation, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Wine Together Pod. Join our Facebook group, Wine Together Podcast. And if you don't want to miss out on our regular weekly episodes, along with all our bonus content, you can find us wherever you get your podcasts, as well as liking, subscribing, and commenting on our YouTube, Wine Together Podcast.